So their net profits are expected to be posted at 38,068 crores, up 6.3% year on year and about 2.7% sequentially. Earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation and amortization, EBITDA, is projected to grow 2% sequentially at 19,900 crores and about 12.5% year on year. When I look at the stock, it has given gains around 45% to its investors in the last 1 year, slightly down today and not too far from its 52-week high of 1200. It is at 1144 right now.
All right, so, let's also bring on Mr. Gaurang Shah, Senior Vice President at Geojit Financial Services, into this conversation. Sir, Bharti Airtel reports its numbers today. What are your expectations?
Thank you, Suyash, for having me on the show, and morning to all of you also. Let me give a disclosure. We have a coverage on Bharti Airtel on the positive side. Expect the numbers to improve in terms of the premiumization that they've been having. Second largest service provider after Jio in India, and I think the subscriber base is only going to expand, keeping in mind the virtual duopoly that we have in India. So remains to be seen overseas operations, how they are going to contribute to the balance sheet. But I don't think that's going to be a disappointment.
Gaurang, you said it is going to expand, but given the disruption that Jio has been causing into in the market, how much pressure do you see Airtel and even the other player Vodafone in the coming times?
So short-term disruptions, I think I am not too much concerned about it. And whenever the competitors step up the competition level, the other incumbents who are there in the sector have to follow the suit. So, and of course, the fact is that when it comes to world over rating in terms of tariff, then India comes at the bottom, not at the top. So there is scope of ARPUs improving, and we have seen steadily over the last maybe about a year or two, tariff plans rate revision steadily has been up north. And data usage is also something that is picking up speed with the kind of screen time that all of us dedicate to our cell phones. So short term, depending upon how the competitor launches any particular tariff scheme or any additional freebies, there might be disruption, but I don't think long term that's going to have any kind of meaningful impact.
All right, and we are coming off from a very data heavy week. Of course, we had the interim budget. Now that's behind us. Mr. Shah, what's your assessment of the budget? And if you could give it a rating of from 1 to 10, what would that be?
Well, honestly, we spoke before the budget also. I was in the show with you. I mean, the question was, what is the expectation? I said, don't keep any expectation. It was a budget on account because of code of conduct coming into effect. There was very little room for the Honorable Finance Minister to do or move any kind of pieces. But whatever she's done, I would definitely compliment her. And not only Finance Minister, but even the Prime Minister has said that this is not the only platform. Possibly once the election is done and dusted and we have a government, a political party forming a government which the market expects, then I think there will be more reforms coming through over there.
Gaurang, there's one thing about the fiscal deficit, which is at 5.8, and they are looking at getting it down to 5.1 and then obviously towards 3, which is ideal. Do you expect all the SOPs being removed once if the government comes back, just to take care of this fiscal deficit? Do you see that happening?
So, I think this government, not only in this particular year when it comes to budget, especially election year, there was a lot of noise on the street. It's going to be a populist budget. Government is going to loosen up all the strings of the purse and dole out freebies, goodies, lollipops, etc., etc. So, but not only now, even in the past years, we have seen this budget from this government has been growth oriented, employment oriented, a budget for each and every section of uh, categories. Uh, so, I mean, I don't think there is going to be any major concern in terms of pullbacks of any kind. But fiscal prudence is something that has always been there for any particular political party who presents the budget, not only in our country, but also different parts of the world. And if you are not going to be disciplined when it comes to fiscal prudence, then I think you have to pay a price for that. So, given that, my view is that uh, first of all, this government is not in that habit of giving freebies. Whatever they do in terms of additional policy decisions is very well calculated, very well thought, and implemented at ground level.
All right, and moving on, I wanted to get your view on Paytm. You know, apart from the compliance issues that have been raised by the RBI, there are also reports that the payment bank was not maintaining the arm's length with promoter entities. Do you think there's a corporate governance issue here?
It surely looks like Suyash with the kind of reaction that we've seen. And it was rather unfortunate when the con call happened. The management gave reasons other than the reason which the participants wanted to listen into. And when you are in the business the way you are into, I think not only maintaining arm distance, but also meeting up with all the kind of policy requirement is absolutely a must. Now, this morning I've heard another report that the management is wanting to work with RBI to sort out. Boss, why did you allow yourself to be in this position first of all? And you are putting these. What are you putting at stake? The confidence and the investment of shareholders, along with, of course, the employees that are associated with your company. So it was rather unfortunate that the management allowed itself to be in this position.
All right, and what does the shareholders do here? You know, it's the stock, as you can, I mean, it's at an all-time low, has been in the lower circuit for the past 3 days. What's the take on Paytm stock? Should one wait for the dust to settle, or perhaps just try to get out as soon as they can?
So I'll give a very honest opinion. I don't recollect we having a coverage on Paytm. So I won't give any specific buy, sell and hold. But like you mentioned, when there is so much of dust around, it's only prudent that you should let it settle down. And the investigation now will take place, and explanations will be given from both the regulator as well as the company involved. I would not make any specific comments on buy, sell and hold or Paytm.
All right, and Mr. Shah, before we let you go, RBI's policy decision comes out on Thursday. Now, I mean, we spoke to you as well. The broader expectation is that, the central bank will maintain the rates this time around as well. But do you think that there will be any shift in stance, considering that Fed has dropped that additional rate hike from its narrative and it's happy to hold interest rates higher for longer?
So first of all, Shreya, I don't think that whatever Fed does, we have to replicate or ape it, to be very honest. They are in a different situation, we are in a different situation. And I think we have to come out of this mentality of aping the super apes, to be very honest. My understanding and my view is that spelled out very clearly that possibly if everything goes well, inflation doesn't bump up, crude oil doesn't show any kind of ugly levels in terms of boiling, then one can expect a rate cut possibly in the first 3 months of year 2024, that is Jan, Feb, March. Jan is already done and dusted. We are in Feb. So let's hope that possibly status quo is something what we can expect, like we saw over the last couple of trade policies. And maybe if things give you a little bit of leeway, then one can expect a small rate cut also, but a little bit premature to talk about that.
All right, that's a view coming in from Mr. Gaurang Shah. Sir, always great insights from you. Thank you for joining us here on First Take. But before we wrap things up, let's look at how the markets are doing as of 10:10 a.m. this morning. And we are holding on to the early morning gains. In fact, we are trading very close to the day's high. Nifty, as we speak, is hovering just under the 21,950 mark. We are at 21,942 as of 10:10 a.m. this morning, up 0.41%. Sensex is also holding above 72,300 levels. The mid cap and the small cap indices are leading the charge. The mid-cap index is up almost 0.7% above the 48,800 mark. Remember, it has touched a new lifetime high in today's trade. The small-cap index continues to remain the strongest segment of the market. It's up over 1%, and the index again has hit a lifetime high. It's currently at 16,456 mark as we speak. India VIX, now that is back above 16 levels. India VIX as we speak is up 8.9% as of 10:10 a.m. this morning. We had seen a dip in volatility post budget, but we have started Monday with elevated volatility, considering that we are in the middle of the earnings season, as well as RBI that comes out with its policy decision later this week. But that's all we have in this edition of First Six. Stay tuned with us as we'll be right back with Business Plus.
हमारी नारी शक्ति को सशक्त करने से ही देश सशक्त होने वाला है।
हर महीने महिलाओं को 1500 रुपए प्रति माह